Right now at 6, a major retail theft bust.
We want to make sure that this community isn't losing businesses because of this.
What surveillance video reveals about the suspects who authorities say targeted at least one shop over and over. Plus, a former trailblazer on trial for rape. What we're learning as prosecutors and defense lawyers laid out their cases to a jury. Then, why some local preschools are at risk of losing state funding.
It's piling on all the other cuts, and that's where we're seeing that destabilizing impact to our community.
And a fall near the summit leads to a rescue on Mount Hood, what it took to bring this climber to safety. Thanks for joining us. I'm David Mulco. First at 6, newly released video appears to show thieves ripping off clothing from a Lululemon store in Northwest Portland. And now authorities say they believe this pair has been hitting stores across our area for nearly a decade. Let's get right to John Adams live in the Pearl District. So John, walk us through what you've learned.
Absolutely, David. According to court documents, we know the Lululemon was hit multiple times between February and May, resulting in the loss of thousands of dollars in merchandise.
June 11th, Portland police arrested 2 individuals believed to be part of a retail theft ring that has targeted businesses along the I-5 corridor for nearly a decade.
These are people that are looking in a very organized, methodical way to steal and then turn that into a criminal profit.
The Multnomah County District Attorney's Office tells us the Lululemon store on Northwest Cooch in Portland has been hit again and again by 33-year-old Markesha Magruder and 28-year-old Alexis Jackson. This surveillance video allegedly shows the 2 stuffing merchandise from the store into their coats.
And so we're talking about someone that's going there over and over and over and over again.
According to court documents, Magruder allegedly stole from this Lululemon 4 times between February and May, making off with 130 items valued at over $15,000. Portland police arrested Magruder and Jackson during a traffic stop and found about 25 items believed to have been stolen.
A lot of those items still had like the magnetic security tags on them. I think one of the tags looked like it had been melted down as an attempt to remove.
Multnomah County District Attorney Nathan Vasquez says his office is acting aggressively to target retail theft and tells us there are other outstanding warrants out for those believed to be involved in this crime ring.
We want to make sure that this community isn't losing businesses because of this.
According to the DA, these 2 also targeted local Old Navy and Dick's Sporting Goods stores. They tell me there are roughly 15 people they believe involved in this crime ring. David?
All right, John Adams in Northwest Portland this evening. Thank you, John. Developing tonight, MAX service on the Orange Line has resumed after a train in Southeast Portland struck and killed a cyclist. Daisy Caballero is live near Southeast 12th and Clinton with the update. Daisy?
Yeah, David, a few updates to tell you about. This intersection is officially back up and running. Of course, there's a train traveling right now as we're showing you live, but a few other updates. According to an investigator, the cyclist was headed north but rode in the southbound lanes to get around the railroad crossing arms that were already down. That's when he was hit by a MAX train that was headed towards Milwaukee. This happened at the intersection of Southeast Division and 8th Avenue around 1:40 this afternoon. We were told the MAX train, with about 25 people on board, was traveling from downtown Portland into Southeast. No other injuries have been reported at this time. Portland Fire and Rescue arrived on scene and shortly after found the cyclist pinned underneath the train, still on the tracks. It appears that the investigation on scene has officially wrapped up this afternoon. A TriMet official told me the MAX Orange Line is back in service as of 5 o'clock. The riders can still expect some delays as trains get back on schedules. Officials are still urging bicyclists to stay safe and obey the safety measures implemented so this doesn't happen again.
It is a really complicated intersection. But when those crossing arms are down, the best thing to do is just obey them. We all hate to wait, but unfortunately, that's the safest thing to do. Just wait your turn. We'll all get where we're going eventually. Just let's wait for the crossing arms to come up.
And David, something else that's important to note, of course, if you're not very familiar with this specific side of town, we've been here for the last 3-4 hours and we have seen dozens of bicyclists. I actually got to speak with a few of them and asked them if they feel safe in this area, and they told me yes. Back to you.
All right, Daisy Caballero in Southeast Portland tonight. Thanks, Daisy. In your headlines this evening, a 43-year-old man is recovering after he fell near the summit of Mount Hood. Portland Mountain Rescue and the Clackamas County Sheriff's Office shared some video and images with us. This is around 7 yesterday morning. First responders say the climber fell when he was about 500 feet below the summit, suffering a leg injury. His climbing partner called 911 for help. Rescue teams mobilized as quick as they could, and around 8 hours after the fall, it's actually a pretty good time, they were able to ski him down the mountain to safety. Multnomah County is opening a new shelter at an old Motel 6 in North Portland near Delta Park. The county says it has 60 units and will be able to house a total of 70 people. The company operating it will provide 24/7 services to help get people into permanent housing. Neighboring businesses have also signed a so-called Good Neighbor agreement with the county and the operator. We'll take a look at these food labels because these Heat and Eat chicken fettuccine Alfredo products are being recalled. A listeria outbreak has killed 3 people and led to 1 pregnancy loss. These products, branded as Home Chef and Market Side, are sold at Fred Meyer, QFC, and Walmart's. The company is recalling products made before June 17th. If you have these products, you should throw them away or return them to the store for a full refund. In the Gorge, firefighters have made significant progress on the Rowena fire that is burning near the Dalles. Containment now at 53%, and resources are being shifted off the fire. That is great news. Crews today are doing grid searches inside the zone to look for any remaining trouble spots. All level 2 evacuations have now been dropped to level 1. And in Central Oregon, the Oregon State Fire Marshal has brought in over 100 firefighters to protect homes and infrastructure from the Alder Springs fire. It is burning northwest of Redmond, where it's torched some 3,500 acres, but that one is now 20% contained. Good news there. There are several level 3 go now evacuation orders in place. It includes the Deschutes campground at Cove Palisades. Matt, we'll send it out to you.
All right, David, thanks very much. Yes, we are live at Langdon Farms Golf Course in Aurora for the Bald-Faced Tooth Foundation annual charity golf tournament, and I'm here with one of the co-founders, no stranger to Portland television viewers, Anna Canzano. Anna, thanks so much for joining us.
Oh, it's so fun to see you here. Thank you for being here.
Super happy to be here. It's been a great event, great day, of course. But I wanted to ask you, how did this all get started? Because I got this vision of you and John Canzano sitting on your couches going,
Yeah, I mean, more or less, that is how it started. In 2009, there were a lot of budget cuts in Oregon. A lot of music, theater, arts, and sports were being cut just because the budget, couldn't afford it. And so we thought these were both activities that, we participated in growing up.
Sure.
And as a reporter, I was doing all these stories about kids whose families could not afford to let them participate in these extracurricular activities. So we thought, well, we both have these platforms on media. We might as well
use them for good.
Use them for good.
As opposed to evil.
Yes. And so that's how the foundation began, is we just started raising money and giving it away, literally just giving it away.
And Camp Exceptional has been going on for 12 years, you said, right? But it's not the only thing that the Bald-Faced Tooth Foundation does. What else do you guys do with the foundation?
So we get grant requests a lot from whether it's, track coaches or band directors, athletic directors who know about a kid or a set of kids that can't afford to play a sport, do a music camp, whatever it is, whatever that is that feeds a kid.
You're a proud graduate of Park Rose High School.
Yes.
Tell me what you did there.
Oh, well, I mean, we found out that Park Rose High School back in the day had their goalposts were made of PVC pipe. So we were like, well, feels like we should probably do something about
Nice.
that.
That's so great. Anna, thanks so much for joining us. Really appreciate it. And good luck with the foundation. And this has been a great event. It's been a great day, too. So let's talk weather for just a second. We'll do more a little later on, too. But we'll go to the Providence Park Sky Cam. A beautiful day. Temperatures have climbed into the 70s. It's 73 right now. And as we look at tomorrow, we still have a great day on the way. One more before the late spring and summer rains return. 74 tomorrow, and in a reverse of how it usually goes in June, clear in the morning but clouds in the afternoon. And of course, David, the rain comes after that. We'll talk about that Friday, Saturday situation in a bit. Back to you.
Glad you're out there today. Enjoy the sunshine, Matt. See you then. Developing this evening, the criminal trial of former Portland Trailblazer Ben McLemore is now underway 3 years after he was accused of raping a woman in Lake Oswego. Celine Stevens was in the courtroom as both sides laid out their case to the jury.
Wednesday marked the start of opening statements in the trial against Ben McLemore, the former Trailblazer who was accused of raping a woman at a house party back in 2021. Now, the defense says it was all consensual, while the prosecution says the victim in this case had taken over 10 shots of alcohol and was passed out when this alleged incident occurred.
While she laid there, limp, helpless, and unresponsive.
Ben McLemore sat in the courtroom Wednesday morning as attorneys from both sides presented the case to the jury.
He certainly doesn't remember being attracted to anyone else that night. He doesn't remember thinking about wanting to have sex with anybody.
It involved a then 21-year-old woman who went to a house party in Lake Oswego in October 2021. During the early morning hours of October 3rd, she says she was raped by McLemore, who at the time was a player for the Trailblazers. Both were intoxicated at the party, with the woman drinking enough to the point where she became sick, passed out, and had to be carried to a couch by McLemore. State attorneys say soon after that, the assault occurred.
She eventually slips off the couch and onto the floor. She doesn't even catch herself. She's playing dead. But that doesn't deter the defendant. All on the very same couch that he had carried her to when she passed out in that bathroom.
The defense stating otherwise, saying then teammate Robert Covington, who owned the house and was initially present in the room when the woman and McLemore were both on the couch, says he saw the woman touching McLemore. McLemore claims she initiated and everything was consensual.
He'll tell you that he does not remember a time that she slipped off, that there may have been a little bit of movement to one side or another, but there was no landing on the floor or some sort of sudden interruption like that, but that it was really in many ways a fairly normal sexual encounter.
Moving forward, the woman and McLemore will testify, and witnesses will continue to be called to the stand in the days and weeks to come. In Oregon City, Celine Stevens, KGW News.